Yoongi looked shocked at first, eyes wide in surprise. Then his pupils began to darken, his breath turned heavy, and he took over. He pushed me onto the bed, kissing recklessly from my temples to my collarbone. By the time the last layer of clothing was peeled away, I managed to summon one final bit of reason. Will you take responsibility for this? I will. Yoongi's voice was yet firm, shattering my last defense. That night, we were wild. The room utterly wrecked. I woke up at noon the next day. The bed beside me was cold. He must have left long ago. I remembered little of what we said, only what we did. Like how he carried me to the shower, how he helped me change into pajamas. My cheeks were burning. I covered my face with both hands only to feel something cool on my finger. I looked down in surprise. A ring. Perfect fit on my left hand. It wasn't flashy, but it had weight. It glowed softly, beautifully in the morning light. I couldn't stop smiling until one question sobered me. Was Yoongi staking a claim? Why would he give me a ring like this? Rich men don't just hand out rings for fun, right? Ding. A message notification snapped me out of my thoughts. It was from Yoongi, and unfortunately anything about him now reminded me of what happened last night. Instant embarrassment. I opened the message. Yoongi, I'm outside. Open the door. Of course, the moment was bound to come. I just didn't expect it to come this fast. I sat up, panicked, and tried to get dressed. Ow. The moment I stood, my legs gave out, and I fell to the floor. After a minute, I managed to pull myself up, grab the scattered clothes, toss them into the bathroom, and rush to the door. Just before I opened it, I hesitated. I'd been wondering how I should face Yoongi. But what if he was wondering the same? The answer came the second I opened the door. Yoongi was not wondering anything. He stood there with the same cold, aloof face, as if nothing had happened. Boss, what are you doing here? His eyes flickered with unease, though I didn't notice at the time. You're mad. I wouldn't dare. I'm sorry. We spoke at the same time. I added quickly. Sorry for what? I stared at him in surprise. Yoongi saying, I'm sorry. Last night was your first time. I didn't get your consent before that happened. It was also my first time. I didn't handle it well. I hurt you. Stop. My face turned crimson. What kind of pure-hearted man says stuff like that with a straight face? I was practically combusting. I quickly changed the subject. I'd already noticed the two large suitcases behind him. Boss, what's with the luggage? You moving? Yes. Starting today, I'm living with you. There are more things. I'll have someone bring them later. What the hell did I just hear? Living together? That was somehow worse than the pure boy confession. Boss, my tiny apartment can't hold someone as mighty as you. Please find another palace to reside in. But there was no stopping him. Yoongi walked right in, carrying one suitcase in each hand, heading straight for the bedroom. Yoongi, if you're staying here, don't you at least owe me a reason? That's the first time you've called me Yoongi. Even though this man was technically my walking paycheck, I couldn't stop myself from rolling my eyes. Then I gave in, grumbling, sorry, boss. From now on, if you call me boss outside work hours, I'll dock your year-end bonus, 1,000 per slip. Fine, Bo. I changed course mid-word, hubby. Soup is on the stove. I'll go serve you some. As I watched Yoongi walk toward the kitchen, only one thought echoed in my mind. He's hiding something. Yoongi, can you at least tell me why you're staying in my tiny apartment? The soup's nourishing. Nourishing my ass. He was clearly dodging the question. Now, I was even more convinced he was hiding something. Fine. If he didn't want to tell me, I wouldn't ask again. It wasn't the only thing on my mind anyway. I raised my hand and showed him the ring. When did you buy this? Yoongi stared at the ring, seemingly lost in thought. There was a faint gleam in his eyes, and if I hadn't been watching closely, I wouldn't have caught the soft smile tugging at the corners of his lips. A long time ago. A long time ago? That means he bought it before he even knew me, so the ring wasn't meant for me. Got it, boss. Has today's schedule changed? Do I need to rearrange anything? To avoid getting docked pay, I added quickly. I didn't take leave today, so technically this is working time. Work topic, I swear. I filed leave for you. So now it's break time. No work talk. Everything this afternoon has been cancelled. I was speechless. The rich really do whatever they want. An entire afternoon of meetings worth 10 times my annual salary, cancelled just like that. So, what are we doing this afternoon? Meeting my elders. The word okay nearly slipped out until I glanced at the ring and remembered. There's no need for this. In 57 days, we'll be divorced. The room fell silent. And in that silence I could practically hear Yoongi grinding his molars. He was holding something back. I'll only ever be a widower, never divorced. The words slipped out of his mouth. Then realization hit and he stiffened. I'm sorry. That came out wrong. I'm sorry. Afraid he'd spiral even further, I quickly replied, it's fine. I'll go with you. I rifled through my entire closet. The most formal thing I had was still the white dress I wore for our marriage certificate photo. Sitting in the car, I opened my phone to do some emergency research. I even posted anonymously asking, tips for meeting my in-laws. Husband is from an ultra-rich family. Top comment, just be from a matching family. That's all. Another reply hit me where it hurt. If I were Yuna, I'd have a powerful family behind me. But there was no if. The more I read, the worse I felt. I shut off my phone and closed my eyes to rest. Sometime later, I faintly heard someone calling me. YN. I opened my eyes. Only Yoongi was beside me. Must have been a dream. Wait, were we at a hospital? No, this wasn't a dream. Yoongi leaned over and gently undid my seatbelt, his voice low. I only have one elder, my grandfather. He's not doing well. He's staying in the hospital for treatment. I nodded carefully asking, so, no one else? No one. His tone was definite, and strangely, I felt a small pang of empathy. Let's go see him. Even though there was just one elder, I was a nervous wreck. I'd been alone for so long, I'd forgotten how to interact with family. What if I said something wrong and upset him? Don't be nervous. Grandpa's very kind. Oh, God, even Yoongi could tell I was nervous. Still in thought, I felt Yoongi gently tug me into the room. On the hospital bed lay an elderly man with silver hair and IV in his arm and little color in his face. Grandpa, look who I brought to visit you. There was a warmth in Yoongi's smile I'd never seen before. The old man's face was so gentle, all my nerves instantly melted away. I opened my mouth, about to introduce myself. When he spoke first, YN, come here, darling. For a moment, I panicked. Was he calling for Yuna? But I smiled brightly anyway and said, yes, Grandpa. I walked over and knelt beside him. Yoongi, Grandpa, I'm going to step out and take a call. Yoongi nodded. Then, before leaving, he added playfully, take your time. I want to have a little chat with my precious granddaughter-in-law. After Yoongi left, I helped Grandpa sit up. Good girl. Thank you for choosing Yoongi. His first sentence caught me off guard. Grandpa, don't say that. Your grandson is amazing. He's got plenty of admirers. He patted my hand firmly, but the way he held it felt heavier than that. As if he were entrusting me with something precious. I know my grandson. He has emotional detachment issues. Bottles up everything. Doesn't know how to express himself. Not many girls can handle his temper, but you can. Then he sighed. It's not his fault, you know. Yoongi's mother passed away young. My unfilial son didn't care for him at all. He even brought another woman to her funeral. Since then, Yoongi's had a deep resentment toward all women. By the time he hit middle school, he was totally out of control. Fighting, getting into trouble. I had to bail him out of the police station more times than I can count. Luckily, you showed up. In his third year, Yoongi suddenly started behaving, studying again. Because of you, just yesterday, I spoke with his therapist. He's been showing more emotions lately. That's a good thing, but you must stay by his side. Otherwise, I'm afraid he'll do something foolish. Is he really your only family? Grandpa nodded with another sigh. Pretty much. After his mother died, he cut ties with the rest of the family. Then he told me stories from Yoongi's childhood. In my 11 years of secretly loving him, I realized I didn't know him at all. I only ever saw the polished surface, never the pain underneath. And the more I listened, the more I felt I should give Yoongi back to Yuna. This YN was never meant to replace that, Yuna. After all, I didn't even know him in middle school. If he was becoming more stable now, was it really because I was here or because she was back? Halfway through the conversation, Yoongi returned. But when he heard Grandpa recounting his embarrassing past, he turned red and escaped again, mumbling something about getting food. Grandpa and I exchanged a smile. We both knew it was a flimsy excuse. Yoongi could call a 5-star hotel with a snap of his fingers. Who needed to personally go out and buy food? While he was gone, Grandpa told me more. From Yoongi's birth to his college years, the summary. Yoongi was ridiculously excellent. Award after award, grade after grade, suitors by the dozens. But always, there was one name in his heart. Her name was Yuna. Grandpa finished just as Yoongi returned. Let's eat. True to form, Yoongi didn't disappoint. The food was an extravagant feast. During the meal, Grandpa teased him nonstop and even pulled me aside, asking me to take good care of him. The mood throughout was light and joyful. It's been ages since I felt this happy, Grandpa said. Thank you. Truth be told, it had been ages for me, too. But I didn't say anything, didn't want to worry him. When it was time to leave, I found it hard to say goodbye. Grandpa's eyes shimmered with tears, and I, who hadn't felt this kind of love in so long, couldn't hold back either. Grandpa, I'll come visit again soon. Good girl, YN. Promise me you'll come see me. Just before we left the room, I let go of Yoongi's hand, turned around, and said what I'd been meaning to say. Grandpa, I'm YN. He smiled. Of course you are, child. Of course, I know. I never got the chance to visit him again. The hospital called before I could. Grandpa was in critical condition. That afternoon, a violent storm rolled in. During the meeting, Yoongi kept glancing at the window, distracted and fidgety. His unease was contagious. I couldn't explain it, but something felt wrong. Before the meeting even ended, he suddenly bolted from the conference room. My gut told me it was about Grandpa. I didn't even hesitate. I ran after him. By the time I reached the parking lot, he was about to get in the car. His eyes were empty, dazed, as if he'd lost his soul. The rain was pouring. There was no way he could drive like this. I offered to take the wheel. He said nothing, just gave a slight nod. We rushed to the hospital, but we were still too late. Grandpa was already under the white sheet. Tears blurred my vision, but I didn't dare make a sound. I knew what it was like to lose someone. No one wants to hear sobbing when they're drowning in grief. Yoongi must have wanted some time alone with him. Go see Grandpa. I steadied my voice and whispered gently. Then, as his granddaughter-in-law, I quietly followed the doctor to take care of the paperwork. By the time everything was done, night had fallen. Yoongi hadn't said a word all afternoon. He didn't shed a single tear. That kind of silence, it was worse than I imagined. When it was all over, I didn't take Yoongi home. Instead, I drove him to the funeral home where Grandpa's body had been taken. We sat together in the car. Yoongi, I said softly, everything will be okay. I'll stay with you tonight. Let's keep Grandpa company one more night. He stared blankly at the building, not saying a word. I looked at him and continued, voice gentle. I understand how you feel. I've been there. In my second year of high school, the only family I had left passed away. That kind of loneliness, like it's choking you. You want to cry, but there's no one to comfort you, and you still have to smile to survive. So, I won't tell you not to be sad, but if you want, you can share it with me. That way, you don't have to carry it alone. Yoongi finally moved. He turned his head to look at me. In that moment, our eyes met. His gaze trembled, and I saw a faint shimmer of tears. After a long silence, he spoke. Quiet, steady, you won't ever be alone again. Just one sentence, and I fell deeper into the love I'd tried so hard to hold back. Whether it was pity or not, I didn't care anymore. But what now? I planned to give him back to Yuna, the words never left my mouth. Maybe I could stay just one more night. Let go tomorrow, when Yuna came. The funeral was simple. Only Yoongi and I kept vigil in the morning hall. After Grandpa passed, Yoongi had someone inform the Min family. Not a single one of them came to pay respects. Yoongi said it was better that way. Grandpa had always preferred peace and quiet. Around noon, Yuna returned from out of town. She was back, which meant I had to go. I quietly stepped out of the morning hall to give them space. But before I got far, Yuna caught up to me. She took a deep breath and said, seriously, don't go. I think you misunderstood something. What? Yoongi really truly loves you. He's loved you for 13 years. Back in high school after you left, he spiraled for a whole year. If you leave again, he'll break. Her words hit me like a freight train. Shock and joy crashing into each other. 13 years. But we'd only known each other for 11. Let's sit over there, she suggested, pointing toward the hallway. I nodded quickly. Can you explain what you meant just now? Of course, you two are the most mismatched soulmates I've ever seen. Yoongi and I were childhood friends. Our families had a marriage pact. But he never liked me, he liked you. As for when it started, ask him. All I know is without you, Yoongi wouldn't be who he is today. Honestly, he probably would have ended up in jail by now. But weren't you two together in high school? Yuna scoffed. All rumors. Poor me. always getting dragged in to block his admirers. Still, I was willing. I did like him once, but his heart only had room for you. I envy you so much. Tell me, why does childhood love never win against someone who just drops from the sky? I have the looks, the money, the brains. People line up to chase me, and yet he chose you, this insecure little pauper. I nodded slowly. Honestly, I never believed anyone could beat the childhood sweetheart. But I heard him confess to you in high school. You must have misheard. When he said YN, he meant you. All right. All right. I'll stop. You two lovebirds need to sort things out. Oh, and Yoongi moving in with you. That was my idea. If you want to thank me, let your future kid call me godmother. Yoona slung her bag over her shoulder. The breeze lifted her hair as she coolly brushed it back. I couldn't help but laugh. Your elegant image in my head is officially shattered. But honestly, you're kind of badass. She smirked. Takes one to know one. Screw elegance. Then she paused, turned back, and added, let me just say one more thing. You're the only girl I've ever fallen for through a guy's eyes. YN, you're more amazing than you think. See you next time. After she left, I sat there playing her words over and over in my head. They say unrequited love is like living alone on an island. But after 11 years, I realized I was never alone there. Excitement, regret, guilt, a mess of emotions. All I wanted right then was to hold Yoongi. When I looked up, he was already standing not far away. His eyes avoided mine, his fists clenched tightly at his sides. He was holding something in again. Are you leaving me too? He spoke quietly. It wasn't a question. It was a statement. Yoongi, will you hold me? Okay, just one simple word, and it soothed all the turbulence in his heart. Why had I never noticed how easily he listened to me? I leaned in close and whispered into his ear, Yoongi, from now on, you'll never be alone again. After we opened our hearts to each other, Yoongi became even more clingy. And finally, we stopped speaking at cross purposes. When he was upset, I would ask. When I was upset, he would ask. After our relationship went public at the company, we received nothing but blessings. Yoongi, in all his extravagant glory, dropped $500,000 worth of red envelopes in the company group chat just to celebrate. Yoongi, where's mine? He pointed to himself and gave me a doting smile. Right here. Well, fair enough. With him around, I didn't need anything else. On our wedding day, neither Yoongi nor I had any family attending, but the scene was far from quiet. Our co-workers were causing a ruckus on stage, while Yoona and Jimin got into an all-out war over the bridal bouquet. Funny, really, those two love-phobic drama queens had once solemnly promised me they'd never get married. They were committed to the Sea of Roses. King of Flirts and Queen of Freedom, as they called themselves. I clung to Yoongi's arm, watching the chaos unfold with a proud anti-smile. You two are getting married anyway. Why fight over flowers? That's right. Someone chimed in. This pair of bickering idiots is tying the knot in a commercial marriage next month. I'd never marry her. I'd never marry him. Jimin and Yoona said in perfect unison. I nodded approvingly. Look at that. You two already have married couple telepathy. Yoongi echoed me calmly. You'll both be eating your words soon. I gave him a big thumbs up. That once untouchable, aloof godlike man had finally been pulled down to earth by me. After the wedding, while I was cleaning Yoongi's study, I accidentally came across a small box. I opened it and found a single button underneath it, a folded slip of paper. It read, out of 3,000 dazzling things in this world, I love only 3. YN. Dated March 3, 2013, 13 years ago. The exact time Yoongi first fell for me. That meant this button must have something to do with me, but I couldn't remember anything. I stared at the box, trying to jog my memory. At some point, Yoongi had come up behind me. YN, can't remember? Why don't you ask me instead? Startled, I flinched, and the button flew out of my hand. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have gone through your stuff. He chuckled softly, picked the button off the floor, and placed it in his palm. Anyone else might have thought this was jewelry, but I belong to you now. What's mine is yours. Besides, this button's always been yours. I just kept it hidden. He pulled me into his arms. Do you remember that little alley you used to go to in middle school? The one where you fed stray cats, dogs, and a homeless guy. When he said that, memories began to surface. I had fed animals in so many alleys, but the one with a person in it, there was only one. It was sometime in the 7th grade. After night classes, I followed my usual route to feed the strays. That evening, I heard a rustling noise from the alley. I thought it was just a cat or a dog, but when I got closer, I saw a small, skinny figure crouched in the corner. I wasn't afraid. My parents had arranged bodyguards to wait at the alley entrance. And besides, the boy looked like he needed help. I took some food out of my bag, walked over, and handed it to him. Are you hungry? I have milk and cake. Here, take it. He didn't say a word. Didn't reach for the food either. So, I placed it beside him and left. For a whole week, he was always there. Every time I came by, he kept his head low. His long hair covered most of his face. I assumed he was just a homeless teen. Every day, I'd spend some pocket money to buy him food. Until one night, I arrived to find him being bullied by a group of punks. I had my bodyguards restrain them. That was the first time he ever spoke to me. Can you tell me your name? YN. His voice was timid and young. It made me give my name without hesitation. After that night, I never saw him again. So, you were that boy? I gasped. That button? It was from your middle school uniform. I remember now. Yoongi smiled softly. YN, thank you. I smiled through tears. No, I should thank myself. Thank that younger me for walking into that alley and finding you. Looking back, I never imagined that the boy hiding in that alley would one day become my husband. For years, I thought my love for him was a lonely secret, buried deep and never to be returned. But it turns out he had loved me quietly, fiercely, long before I even knew. Now when he holds my hand, when he whispers my name like a promise, I no longer feel like that insecure, invisible girl chasing light from afar because I am his light. And he was never out of reach. We missed each other once, but this time we found our way home together.